Like, oh,
Yo, what up, what up? From HYPEBEAST Radio, I'm Manny, and this is Line, a show that looks to discover the origin story of your favorite artist or major player in the music industry. We ask the questions that you always wanted to get answered, and you never know who may pop by. For this episode of Line, we talk to iLoveMakonnen about his new music, Lil Peep, coming out, and so much more. Welcome to Line. We have another episode of Line. We have an artist who I think is like definitely one of the most creative and also one of the most important in the last 5 to 6 years. And I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Oh, what's up? iLoveMakonnen. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming out and taking your time and sitting down with us. We are in Warner Brothers Record Studios. This is like really, really nice here, and I'm really comfortable. So I just want to shout that out.
Same, shouts out.
So I think the cool thing about your musical career is that you have always been someone who's been able to like truly push what people's idea of sound is within genres. Since your beginning, like you have always been someone who's just like, I don't want to do this really. I want to do something else with but keep it within the same spirit where the listener won't feel too far off, too lost.
Yeah.
And so listening to M3, it was really cool because one, it was really good to hear new music from you and just like soak in a complete project for you, a complete EP. And also I thought it was cool how you kind of just like delivered in different aspects of sound and genre, where it was like to some stuff that was more pop leaning and some stuff was more 808 trap stuff. So I guess just your creative process now that you're been doing this for what, 5 to 6 years, or maybe longer?
Yeah, since I've been signed.
Yes, I would say, what is the process now for creating music?
The process now is, just going in the studio, trying to capture, just trying to capture a moment, and on a record or in a song. That's kind of how the process has always been. But now, I don't know, I'm just know that the listener is more aware and more listening. At first I would just kind of do, I guess, just what I wanted to do. And now I just feel like the process is being more considerate of what others like and what they want to hear and, make it a inclusive type of thing. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's a community of music. The artists, the producers, the fans, the listeners, the, people with opinions and stuff. So I just try to keep it where everyone's involved. You know what I mean? So the conversation's always open and, it's always up for like, remixing type of thing. So, yeah.
When you say inclusive, I get, what do you mean by getting the listeners involved in particular in that aspect?
Well, like the fans and listeners there give a lot of feedback. And so especially with social media nowadays, you can kind of like talk to them and see what they're going through and like see what's on their mind. What are they kind of, issues they're dealing with. So it's like you want to be able to hit on topics that that they will that'll mean something to them. You know what I mean? That they could relate to. That's like, all right, that's something we need to we need it musically. So you know what I mean? Like, thank you for giving us that, because a lot of times you as an artist you can just keep giving people what you want to give them, and then you'll see like, oh, they don't fuck with me no more or something. But it's like you have to keep it's like a relationship, it's a two-way street. You want to keep it open and be like, what type of music y'all want, or what type of emotions should I be trying to tap into as the artist that y'all like to do these type of things.
So it's more subject matter rather than sound.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as far as like I would try to like the subject matter in different sound. You know what I mean? It's like, just like, let's try it a new way. You know what I mean? It's pretty much maybe the same subject of heartbreak, but let's try it in a, kid-like, ice cream truck sound type of thing. You know what I mean? To where you don't get those same sort of feelings when you first match them up. You want to keep trying to change it and shift it, reinvent something that's already, kind of already been made. Yeah.
As artists and just guys talking to artists, I think what I hear frequently is when making music it's well, like you said, it is catching a moment. I guess my curiosity is during the process of making and trying to figure out the moment, when do you feel like this is a moment like, oh snap, we may have got something here, and like how many of the mistakes, or not even just mistakes, how many of the versions or alternative ideas do you go through to capture that moment?
A few. Like I could say with the song on M3, Drunk on Saturday. I remember.
Love that song.
Thank you. I remember making that in the studio, and at first it was more of like me and my, like my thing, and I was singing, to the person like, you fucked up bad, and you want me back, and all this type of like, like you need me type of shit. Like, like I'm not hurting. I'm too, what I'm saying? I'm too strong and I'm too good. But I was like, that's not really vulnerable for the listener. So it's like, and like, that's not what they, what I mean? It's like when you're drunk and you're getting your feelings, you more telling them how you feel. And so it's like, I want you back, babe. I know I fucked up bad. And, now I'm drunk on Saturday, still only feeling sad. And so like that, I was like, oh, this is gonna make more sense for the people. This is what they can sing rather than, I'm just singing this to my one person, telling them like, you fucked up, and like that. I was like, let me make this more like everybody can sing this and feel this. And it was like, oh, I feel that feeling. I've had that feeling before too. Yeah. Like I know I felt like I fucked up rather than y'all fucked up. I didn't do nothing wrong. It's your fault. Yeah. So it's like, nah, just take some. It's very vulnerable to take some responsibility and sort of say, even like with the other song, I'm a Loser, saying stuff like that. I just feel like it's not really common to express things that aren't to make you look, I guess, in a brighter, more positive, shiny light type of thing. Like clouded up. Yeah. Like nobody would come out and say I'm a loser. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm winning, even if they losing. Yeah. So it's like, I wanted to, just shoot at different aspects, you know what I mean? Because like, everybody's not always winning. Everybody's not always losing. Everybody's not always happy. Everybody's not always sad. We need to have moments for all these things. Yeah.
I think that's why fans gravitate and have been loyal to your music, because you show that spectrum. Because just looking at the landscape sometimes of music, especially now when there's so much of it going out at once, it's easy to just like listen to something and just hear a one-sided take on things. Yeah. And so how important it is showing the spectrum of vulnerability and also just like human feelings. Yeah. In your music.
I think that's the most important. I think that's what I have the most with my music, is the human element to it. Like all the computers and instruments now, everything's so skilled, and like it can technically be there, but it's like if it doesn't emotionally, spiritually kind of hit the human soul, then it, it's just computerized stuff. And especially with like social media and all this stuff nowadays, everybody's wanting some real feelings, you know what I mean? Because it's like you get so used to these likes and all that, it just becomes I liked it. Did I really like it? Did I have that feeling sensation of like, ooh, I like it? Or is it just like, yeah. So it's like you want to have that sort of real feeling. It's like when you kiss your, significant other, it's different than just like kissing somebody you just, met out on a one night stand type of thing,
Yeah. The more I guess older I get, the also more I'm just like apprehensive with social media, because in my head is like it's such a great tool where you can literally find out what's happening at that moment. Just like something, it could be something as trivial, just like your favorite star is doing something, doing a robot outside, or something so important as like, hey, there's about to be a meteor crashing happening within the next hour, and it's like a mass spread of just like information.
It is.
But then it's just it just feels like instead of it being this wonderful tool of just access information, it's just a gluttony, a cesspool of just gluttony,
showing off,
vanity, and just and negativity. It's just like, wow, how do we turn this amazing tool?
That's funny. I was just on TikTok the other day, and I was just like, going through stuff looking, and I was like, when did all these people become so like, so like sexy or something? It's like everybody's like licking their lips and like, hat off, and like they with their crew, and everybody's like, we all like, I'm like, yo, like what? Like what is going on? Everybody's like, selling you on like, yeah, I look good and I'm fine, and like you want me type. It's like, yo, what's going on?
I still don't get TikTok, and I understand. and I'm also, just because in music, I'm just like, I need to figure out why is this tool so powerful? Yeah, where literally it can take a song that been in the web for like 6 months, and make it into a household hit, just because of a 15-second sound bite and a couple of dances. But when I do see it, I only see the fun part, but then now that you talk about it, I definitely did notice people just like, wow, how are you over sexualizing TikTok?
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like a dance and like, but it's like everyone's very like, you know, vain. It's very like, give me my likes. I'm a narcissist. Like, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know what to do. I don't want to give the wrong like.
Yeah. And I'm just like, is that because of like when
I think it's those filters. You know, those filters start putting everything, making everybody want to do all this crazy shit. Now it's like everybody think they always in a filter.
And then you only see the good. And you only see like, I think the best phrase I heard or description I heard about social media, it's like a commercial of the best parts of you.
Yeah.
Which is like the second of your life.
Yeah.
And so I think about that in music aspect where just like it's so much of trivial, not nonsense. I don't want to knock it off because it's cool to celebrate. You know, I want to celebrate. I want to pop the drink. I want to whatever. But it gets to a point where it's so saturated. It's just like now I feel like people are just listen to it and think, all right, that's how it should be. Yeah. So that's how I'm going to be.
Yeah.
So how important do you think music is in terms of just like delivering messages?
I think it's so important. You know what I mean? I feel like the artists need to get back into putting better messages in the music and the art. You know what I mean? Lately, a lot of the art hasn't really been music art. It's just more of like marketing art. You know what I mean? And that's like, there should be a industry for that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, that was marketing sickness. But like music-wise, it's not hitting on the thing that all the music listeners were looking for is music, but it's going as number one because of all the attention and stuff. And so it's like, it's different. You know what I mean? It's like, is it number one attention or is it number one because we all like the song?
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, that's starting to become very hard to differentiate. And then it's like, you know, I don't know, like as an artist, it's like, you know, I'm really in here putting work into my craft, into the art. I want you guys to hear the song. It's not about, you know, the theatrics and the other bullshit around it. It's like, what did the song mean to you when you hear it? And now it's like, they want everything but the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need to see you trip on the floor and fall. And then it's like, oh, wow, you got a song out. Then I can listen to it. But it's like, you know, if they're just trying to listen to the song, it's like people are, I don't know, they're no longer interested in just the music. They're interested in everything else. And then you do music.
Right. And I'm just like, I'm not sure if it's a good or bad thing. I guess in me, I'm like, it's a pretty bad thing because it's just like you no longer, it's like now songs need to be packaged with shit.
Yeah.
Like, and so
a t-shirt, an ice cream bundle.
Yeah.
It's like, it's, you know, it's like, it's not, I'm not buying a song no more. I bought the iPhone because that's what y'all was giving with the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, dang.
Oh, one thing I definitely want to ask you talked about is just like, I guess the spike in hip hop and how it's now this huge umbrella genre. Because I think before, when people think of hip hop, they think of one thing, and then now because of artists like yourself and artists within the hip hop spirit are making all this different type of music that grew up with different type of music playing, it's becoming these subgenres beneath it. So I guess I just want to give your take of just like, where do you see hip hop going in the future and how important, because I think it's now come to a point where we may have to like, everything should be considered hip hop, but it'd be pretty cool to see like alternative hip hop or indie hip hop, you know, just like different categories and stuff.
Yeah. I agree. Because it's becoming so big now. It's like it now has to start getting subcategorized, you know, because it's like it's hip hop, but now it's like, you know, this is goth hip hop, punk hip hop, and glam hip hop, and fucking trap hip hop, and you know, like fucking moody hip hop, you know. So it's like, I don't know. It's just keep growing and going, and I don't know. It's like, you know, it needs I guess it's young players to always keep the thing going, but I just feel like the subject matter and content is slowly drifting away to where people are spending less time with themselves to put a body of work out to where it's like, I really hear you. You know what I mean? Like with Nas, like every Nas project, I hear Nas, and it's like, damn, like all these gems, and like, whoo, it's like, you know what I mean? Thank you, Nas, for being Nas. You know what I mean? Because you were fucking, you know, in your mind, and you was, you know, formulating this, and you gave it to us. And it's like nowadays, a lot of people ain't even spending time to formulate nothing. They just got down Adidas, goddamn Nike. Well, that's it. That's the new song. It's like, what?
Yeah. And I'm just like, I wish I could put all that in the category and be like,
okay,
right,
shoe rap. You know what I mean? That's the shoe rap. I need fucking motivation rap.
Exactly. Exactly. So I go into that because I love the records you put out with Lil Peep. Rest in peace.
Thank you.
Because I thought Lil Peep was so interesting when I first started listening to him, when he was coming out, because I was like, this dude definitely has hip hop inspirations, but it's also very punk. It's also it's super unique. So it's just like, man, I don't know where to classify this, but this is something unique and different.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is just like, what about him that made him so special in your point of view?
What made him so special was like he was a fan artist. You know what I mean? Like he would definitely let you know that he's a fan of things that influenced him. You know, a lot of artists will always try to hide their inspiration or their influence, and it's like, dude, it's clear as day you goddamn sound like or you look like, you know. But he was very like big up the artist and tell them and like, you know what I mean, like let you like know that, you know, like, wow, your shit influenced me to do my shit. And it's like, you know, you can hear my shit not trying to sound just like your shit. So it's like, wow, that's good. It's like growing, you know what I mean? It's like the artist watered the plant and then the plant grows and bears new fruit. And then now it's new people that come to enjoy Lil Peep. You know what I mean? But it's like, I couldn't sort of like make Lil Peep's music. You know what I mean? But like Lil Peep would tell me he was influenced by my music and like the, you know, like the subject matter, the type of emotional type of things you want to hit on. And so I was like, that's fire. That's dope. Like I hear it. I hear your like, not like the melodies or music, but I hear the emotion. I hear that human element that you're hitting on. You know what I mean? And that's what like good artists have. You know what I mean? It's like it don't have to really sound like another. It's just as long as you touch my heartstrings like the other real artist, then it's like I can feel it. And so like he definitely had that in him, some sort of like raw emotion to connect with other humans where like, I don't know, humans could feel his pain through his music and shit. And he's unique because he's like soaking it in a sponge and then giving it out. And like, you know, like, it's not like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, or that's too whack. It's like, oh yeah, let me check that out. Maybe I can incorporate that, or maybe, you know, that's not for me. That'll be good for so and so. You know, he was definitely just very not shoot down. You know what I mean? You know how like when you tell art, they kind of shoot down all your ideas and stuff, so you don't really want to like give anymore. It was very like you could always brainstorm with him. You know what I mean? He's like a real creative, a real artist to where it's like he really lived this shit. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, it was for the gram and now you off of it. You off the artist shit now, dog. You back on your fucking, because you're getting like shit. But he was like fully artist full time. So, and like that was just cool. It became like we would go to the studio, then leave and go hang out and just live. It just, you know, let's go eat some food together. Let's go shopping. And then it just became like, oh shit, we're just hanging. And it was like, oh, this is what like real art is. Like you're a real artist. You could, you know what I mean? You don't have to just hide in the studio behind your persona. You know what I mean? Like you can come out in public and like interact. You can fucking cough and sneeze and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what people want to see. That's what they need. And so I feel like that's one thing. He was very raw and real and connectable. You know what I mean? Like somebody, you feel him, you could connect to him. Yeah. One thing is like what a lot of artists I'm seeing is becoming so like, don't touch me because I'm not from y'all. You know what I mean? Like, even though I'm saying I'm the realest motherfucker in the streets and I'm from the hood and all this shit, but like, I ain't like y'all. I ain't no broke boy. I ain't, you know what I mean? I'm in Versace and Gucci and whoever the fuck else. I'm not like y'all. And so like a Lil Peep is like, I'm like y'all. You know what I mean? Like I'll be in these dirty ass pants too. And it's like, oh, thank you, bro. That's dope. You know what I mean? That's more like me right now. I can't afford no fucking $500 Gucci to sit up here and stunt on y'all. Yeah. It's like I'm in my Levi's and I'm doing me and my art. And it's like, that's the stunt. Yeah. And so, you know, that's what I got from him.
How much records did you happen to record?
We made about 20. Yeah. We started in like July 27, 2017, and it's about September 2017. So yeah, we did about 20 over that time.
And is there still plans to put out the project?
Yeah. Columbia, you know, Records have the full say, or not the full say, but you know, like they run his music thing. So I don't know if they want to do the whole Peep and Makonnen album, or they're gonna do another Lil Peep album and maybe pick some songs that me and Peep did and songs that he did with other artists, and you know, to make, you know, but I don't know. However it goes, I'm down to get it out for the people.
I seen the mother tweet, I guess share like they're about to do another album, and that was exciting. But I'm gonna be honest, because I guess it's just something that's been popping in my head more often than not, just because unfortunately there's been like a lot of deaths in hip hop over the last couple of years. And so I'm like, I don't always pronounce this shit wrong. Posthumous albums. I always pronounce that. You can say it.
Yeah.
Posthumous.
Yeah.
I always pronounce that word wrong. I'm still like 50-50 now. I guess now that I'm older and kind of just cognizant of just like and asking questions, just like who picks these songs, how close to them would be, where does even like how much of a factor is the money in this? Would this be a song that the artist would put out if the person was alive, et cetera, et cetera? So I guess in this instance where there's probably like a plethora of songs he recorded and stuff like that. I guess what do you think it's like the way to do this? Because I see his mother tweeted out that she's gonna pick it, and then along with some collaborators, I'm just always just like, how did this all come together?
Yeah, I don't know. As far as like with my project with him, if I was them, I would let me lead it because I was the one in the studio leading it and making it, and like I was there with him and we made this together. I feel like, I don't know, it becomes different factors, and everybody wants to sell the records and all this other shit, and it's like it ended up missing the magic that was fully made, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it's no disrespect to none of them, but it's like none of them were in the studio with me. I don't know any of them like that. I don't create with them creatively, so it's like I can't really hear they creative say on stuff, you know what I mean? It's like I know when me and Lil Peep do shit, it's very strong in what he want to do, and like what he want to do would not be the shit that they want to do. You know what I mean? And so, like, I just try to stay out of it as much as I can because it's so touchy and shit.
It's very.
I just try to, and it's just like whatever with my stuff, I feel like, I'm the artist still here, so I should be able to deliver it, like, as a baton. You know what I mean? Like, like the relay is like this other artist has passed on. It's like, I'm still here. I should be the one to walk it in the finish line.
Totally. Yeah. And then what's crazy? I was watching the new season of Black Mirror and the episode with Miley Cyrus. And it was so crazy because it sparked the idea and not just even talking about people, I'm talking about like Possum, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Talk about those albums in general, because in the Black Mirror episode, she was in a coma and people thought she died. And then the mother was just literally recreating songs from her voice that she thought of in her mind. Yeah. And so that's a really extreme like kind of display of just like how exploit can happen. Yeah. But I definitely get a sense sometimes when these super tragic moments happen that like, man, will this be okay? Is this okay to even buy as a consumer? Like, man, is this something that's like, that should be supported? Or something that's like, hey, you know what? Maybe they was making it while they passed. Yeah. And so I'm always just iffy and stuff like that. I
just feel like all that, like with the artists, they should always have like 75% of the proceeds go to an artist's charity or something to put into the community and not just into the pockets of record execs who, you know what I mean? They ain't did shit. You know what I mean? But other than just fucking came and collected a check. And it's like, yo, it should go to these fans and communities. Like, it should go to fucking making, like Peep, he passed away from a drug overdose and stuff. There should be like the percentages going into rehabilitation centers, a Lil Peep program to get people off of opioids. The shit with X should be like, gun violence and stopping domestic violence, all these type of things. That's where the money should be going to make a bigger impact, because it does just feel like, yeah, we gonna be sympathy and give y'all all of our money, but then where does it go?
Is that the project you think the artist should put out?
Yeah.
Because I think the X one in particular, now you brought it up, the last one, I was just like, this doesn't feel like an X album. It just feels like a collection of songs that he worked on. Also, this just popped in my head. M3 was released through Warner, and I was like, oh snap, what made you sign back to a major?
Oh, I've been signed to a major. They didn't let me go.
Okay, good. Because I saw you were self-releasing a lot.
Yeah, it was still through a major.
Okay, cool.
Or like, I'll put stuff on SoundCloud just as an artist, but like, if it's gonna go on streaming, so far right now it's going through the major because that's where I'm at. Okay. But it's all part of the industry.
Nice. I listened to your radio interview on, I believe it was Apple. It was an Apple special segment.
With Hattie Collins, I think?
Yes. Yeah. I thought it was like one of the most important interviews of the year, just because it talked about a difficult subject in hip hop that people really don't talk about, which is about sexuality in hip hop and how hip hop has still not. Has not fully accepted homosexuality and just the LGBTQ community in general. Yeah. And I thought you were so honest
Yeah.
And I thought that was like super appreciative of that. And some things popped in my mind. One was that when you were talking about coming out on Twitter and saying like, that's how people know me. So that's how I felt like. And I thought it was really interesting how you talked about you was in the water on a vacation and you was like, I don't need this weight on me anymore.
Yeah.
I need to be like, especially that I'm in the water.
Yeah.
So I guess literally when that happened, how much of the just like a fuck yes was it? Or was it just like, I don't really care. Like, let me just share this.
The fuck yes happened on the boat. Like when I was out there in the water in the full moon and going through the whole experience. And then I was like, I'm just going to do this when I get back. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, it don't matter to me. You know what I mean? But I see it matters to everybody else.
A lot.
You know what I mean? And it's like the biggest issue. And it's like, yo, this thing has been in the room in hip hop for years before 100%. I started rapping. You know what I mean? And it was like, nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to, mention it. And then, I saw a lot of like shading where a lot of people want to stop mentioning me and stop fucking with me. And so then I was just like, I'm just going to be fully, me and like do what they can't do or what they won't do. Cause, I just know how it is. And I was just like, I'm just going to come out and say I'm gay. You know what I mean? Cause it's like, it is what it is. And it's like, this is what the hip hop fan is dealing with. You know what I mean? Like this in reality, this is what they dealing with more than being in the club on Tuesday. Got your girl choose like, all right, girl been choosing club stunning. I'll teach you how to stunt from big pimping. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we've been doing it, fam. What's next? Because if you trapping this hard and you going to jail for however long and you coming out of jail, it's like, yo, what's really good? What's really happening in jail? Like somebody got to really tell us what's up because everybody's just out here frauding. And so then it's like, yo, so I'm sick of y'all keep running around talking about you the realest motherfucker in the game when you out here frauding. And it's like, y'all all just keep frauding. And then it's like, when we gonna talk about it? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I'm gonna talk about me and my life because everybody wants to say I'm a fraud. Yeah. So like, let me go ahead and speak all on me and about me 100% because I know about me. And then let everybody else speak about themselves. I
was coming here because it reminded me of Lil Nas X and how he recently came out. I was listening to Young Thug's comments about Lil Nas X, and they brought up an idea because he talked about it's dope. He was like, yo, it's amazing that he came out, but he shouldn't have to because now that's going to be his only thing. That's the only thing people probably going to look at him for.
And it's like, that's the only thing that motherfuckers is only concerned with the gay shit are looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, if motherfuckers in here looking for music, they looking for music. If y'all looking for the gay shit, then that's the only thing you're going to see with that little boy. So it's like, y'all speaking on yourself more than we speaking about art and the music. That's showing me that that's what you turned off on. That's what you always think about them. It's like, I just think about music. You know what I mean? Like, their sexuality shouldn't have nothing to do with your music. You know what I mean? Like, it's music.
Do you feel that because now you came out, or just like for Lil Nas X, now that's going to be like everything that revolves, that's going to be like everything that revolves around him? Meaning just like when you go out to interviews, people ask you. When you get hit up, people only ask you about this. People are like, that becomes like the only focus.
I guess it's like a big focus though, because not many people in hip hop are talking about it. And so it's like, I guess it's something to talk about. I just feel like I see what everybody know. Everybody's waiting for this conversation to bust into a big ass conversation to where it's like, yeah, the OGs talk about it. They talk about it. The girls talking about it. Let everybody come in here and talk about what's really good with hip hop. Let everybody talk about Atlanta being the black gay capital of the world, where all the hip hop stuff is coming out from. But it's like, until we have that big conversation, it's always gonna kind of just be like, and it's like, yo, it's been gay rumors plaguing hip hop since the 90s.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody want to talk about Versace and how much they love wearing Versace. Versace was gayer than anybody. He's known to be gay. He was telling Tupac, you the most sexiest man in the world. Tupac up here wearing a goddamn Versace. So the story goes, Biggie and them want to wear Versace too. Then Tupac getting jealous over y'all wearing Versace. Like, wait a minute, all y'all fighting over a gay designer? What's good? Like, you know what I mean? Don't nobody want to talk about it though. So it's like, yo, all right, fam, whatever. Like, let's keep it moving. It's not a conversation until they want to bring it up, but nobody really want to bring it up. So it's like, let's get back to the music.
How far apart do you think hip hop is from just like accepting?
I don't know. Probably about, I don't know. Hip hop's got so much to accept. You know what I mean? Like, they got so much to accept for themselves. It's like, I don't even know about the sexuality and the gay thing being the biggest issue for hip hop to accept. Hip hop first need to accept itself. You know what I'm saying? As a person. No matter where their walk of life is. And a lot of times, most artists ain't coming out accepting themselves. Most artists are trying to get accepted for the materialism that they've got and the jewelry and all this other accolades that they can make. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you accept yourself as yourself, like in the beginning of hip hop, You know what I mean? Like when New York hip hop, when, you know, you got people coming from Brooklyn and this thing, it seemed like everybody was accepting of themselves, knew themselves, and we just gonna come out here and put ourselves out there like boom, and y'all get inspired by that, and you do you do me, and like it keep everything evolving. But like nowadays, it's like, you know, so many people have gotten liked from stuff that they not, like Kanye said, everything I'm not made me everything I am. And it's like, yeah, so many people out here that's gotten liked for these whole personas that they truly not are. And so it's like, until we could accept that, but it's, you know, it's like that's years and years down the line. So it's like, we just, I don't know, it's a tough situation, but hopefully the new generation can start seeing, like, you know, maybe I'll just be me. You know, maybe I don't need all these tattoos to say I'm a gangster and, you know, whatever, to get y'all to listen to my music. You know what I mean? Maybe if I just accepted myself and really did me and told y'all about my real life, y'all accept it. But it's like a lot of people come from nicer areas trying to act like they're from the hood, and you got people from the hood trying to act like they're from nicer areas, and it's like we all confused on everything rather than like a person authentically telling you, this is me, like Master P. You know what I mean? Like that authentic of, I'm from the NOLA, I'm doing it, and I made it out here, and I'm still out here helping and giving. It's like those type of people need to be more highlighted in hip hop and stuff. Like, you know, there definitely needs to be more hip hop communal talks with our elders. You know what I mean? Because there's so many young that just run out here and are all in it, but it's like we need our elders to talk to us, tell us, you know what I mean? Have the goddamn free concert or whatever where we can come in and talk and shit. But it's like, I don't know, everybody, I think it needs to stop being so selfish and be more for the community. You know what I'm saying? It's like hip hop is a community, but it don't really have too many community leaders until one of hip hop's artists is in jail, and then the whole community could rally behind, free him. But it's like we got other issues at hand that we need the community rallying behind daily. Yeah. You know what I mean? In America.
Yeah, that's facts. Two things came to mind. One, I was reading Odell's GQ cover story. Really interesting. Not just as a person, but really good. It's an interview. And one particular part they talk about sexuality, and he's like very much like, this is an outdated question. He was just like, he just essentially just said, love who you love, be who you want to be. And so listening to the like people reaction on ESPN, there was like, this was such a mature answer because it's very, I don't think homophobic is the word, but it's very, I think maybe it's outdated to just, I guess, come out. Yeah. You know, to be like, and do you feel that like people should, like the need like that, they have to now? Because I feel like, i.e. like, they gave the example of this, like, there was rumors that back in the day that Magic Johnson was gay, and he did like a press conference saying, I'm not gay, meaning like this is like some huge negative aspect of life. And so I never thought about that before, and I was like, is it outdated? Is that something that's...
In the black community, it's a negative aspect. You know what I mean? You a man and you say you gay, you automatically got demasculinized. They think you not worthy of standing up as a man. You know what I mean? So it's like sports, athletes, all that shit are macho guys. If they so-called say they're gay, everybody, because that's the way people are programmed. And then it's like, you know, oh, you weak, you soft, you this, you that, you know, it's like they probably don't want to deal with the headache of all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that's the way a lot of people grew up. Like, you pussy, you soft, you know, that's just the culture that has been bred here in America, especially for the black culture with the gay stuff and all that. Now it's just now becoming like Hollywood accepting it. You've seen it on TV and stuff like, oh, look, mom, like they got rainbow, like I could, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, okay. But before it was never like, it was like you get whipping, go to church, you know, it's very like not to do, you know what I mean? It's like smoking weed in the house, you're not doing it now. It's like, oh yeah, we can smoke in here. But you know, like our community that we grew up in, like our leaders, you know what I mean? Most of our, like I said, Magic Johnson, if he had to do that back then, you know what I mean? Because the community is so on you so hard, and it's like, it's such a negative thing. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like our leaders need to have more conversation with our community. Yeah. And then, like, you know, it's like, we listen to y'all now because y'all got the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come back and use that voice because they will listen. Trust me, they hear money. And so it's like Magic Johnson, Jay-Z, they hearing billions. And so when y'all come and say, we want to do something, we don't even have to speak. Just say we putting this together and got some good speakers here to have a teen summit for the kids to end talk and shit. It's like, thank you. We need that, y'all. Because it's like, what else is we doing? We out here on drugs, Facts. The community's on drugs and nobody wants to goddamn help.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, little bro died. Oh, little bro died. Oh, RP him, RP,
Yeah.
free so-and-so. It's like, what? Are we not going to talk about the drug epidemic here in our community? Like, hip-hop, we know last however many amounts of years, we've all been selling drugs on wax. You know what I mean? Like, when we going to clean up the community?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm seeing all the drug dealers, like, shining, living good, but I'm seeing all the fans dying. Living bad, and they parents like, you know, what the fuck? My child was up here listening to so-and-so for the last 5 years now. The Zans done killed my son.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker on stage, chains on, dangling shit, talking about Zan, motherfucker. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Can we save the community?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it ain't going to be a community left to perform for, y'all.
Yeah. The facts. So I follow you on Instagram also, and I love that. I think it was really cool that you moved to the Northwest. And how that place kind of is transformative in the sense that, like, it's the peace and tranquil of, especially just talking to people that I know from the Northwest. They're just like, it's a very cool place when you need to, I guess, have time for you.
Yeah.
So, like,
facts. That nature will overcome you and it's like, shut you up.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I was over there tripping about that Instagram shit.
Exactly.
Like, look at this forest fire, fuck around, kill everything out here.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
it's like very like, and I feel like when you did that move, you kind of just it was like a transformative part of your career, and then it felt like that was a move that was needed.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me about that that transition to the Northwest, and just, I guess, during that period.
Yeah, well, that period I had moved to New York right before, and I was here going out every night. You can imagine club going up on Tuesday, any club, I'm in that every day. Free, all access. Like, to where it's like, I spent more nights awake here than sleep. And so I was doing that, and then I'll go perform. And like, so I was just out and always in front of people performing and just partying. And I was like, I need some time to myself so I could, like, you know, get back into doing music, take care of myself. I was seeing friends starting to, like, deteriorate from the hard partying we were doing so much. And it's like, oh, shit, this is real. Like, you know, you can't just go up every goddamn day, you know? So I was like, I want to grow. You know what I mean? I want to grow into a man and, like, learn and shit. And I was like, I ain't never been to Oregon. I always dreamed of it as a child. And I was like, you know, I just know it's wilderness. And it's like where men go. And I was like, well, I guess I want to go there and try to become a man. You know, like, I don't know any other men. I don't know anybody where it's like I got to count on myself. And, you know what I mean? I got to go out here and build myself up and, you know what I mean, get into me. Because usually I've been like, in New York, I did run here because it was like, oh, I know so-and-so and so-and-so and so. So all these, like, you know, guys and girls that are older than me that I look up to, and it's like, you know, maybe I can come learn from them. And, like, you know, and then I got here and learned, you know, like, you just got to do what's best for you. You know what I mean? And so I was like, all right, I'm going to go out there, take some time for myself. And, yeah, that's what I did. It was very good. Like, I'm so glad I did it. You know, I feel like it saved my life because I was really on a fast up and then fast, like, you know, just fast. I don't even know which direction was going, to tell you the truth. If it was up or down, it was just like fast. And it's like, it could slow down and get back together.
Did you develop any hobbies?
Yeah. I got a lot of weed hobbies. Cooking, of course.
Nice.
I'm trying to get into fishing.
Nice.
You know, there's a lot of guys out there that fish. There's this one guy said, he know these people on the Indian reservation, and he's like, you take me down there and we'll skin fish and learn all this for like a week. So I'm like, all right, I'm down. Let's go do it.
That's fire.
Yeah. He's like, you leave your cell phone. I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of the motherfuckers. They're like, I don't know how they even be popping up.
Talking about cooking, because I love cooking. I think it's a great tool that teaches discipline and patience.
Yeah. Facts.
And then it's just also, at the end of it, you get a fucking great meal.
Yeah.
And learn something.
Yeah, I like it. It teaches me how to be sufficient and work, you know, for myself and put something into, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Put something into, you know, I take my time with it and, like, prepare it and make sure that it's going to be loved, you know what I mean, and nourishing. So that's just always fun to, like, you know, I guess like you're helping yourself, you know what I mean? So it's like giving myself good nutrition that I need and, like, putting in the things that I want and, you know, I enjoy. Yeah. So it's like, it's fun. It's definitely an adult thing to do, you know what I mean?
What's your best meal?
I cooked. All right, I have two. It's like a baked peanut butter chicken.
Okay, that's fire.
And then like a baked salmon.
Okay.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
Salmon, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get salmon down packed. Because it's just like, I like it, the crispy skin. Yeah. But like soft interior.
Yeah. And
I'd be like, all right, I gotta get this down. I gotta get it in the right pot. So if I was a new artist and I'm just like, Makonnen, yo, please, how can I make the best music I can and whatever? What advice would you give that person?
You got to practice, you know what I mean? Spend time with yourself, practicing your craft, get around some other supporters, you know, artists, engineers, songwriters, other people that do music and stuff with you, and keep working and developing and, you know, keep pushing yourself forward and just, you know, keep an open ear to what's going on out there, because that's what they want to hear. You know what I mean? Like, you want to talk about things that they're going through, because that's what people need. They need some shit that can help them with what they're going through. So, like, you know, just make the best music, being authentic, being yourself, and have fun, and just put your real human emotion and stuff behind it.
Nice. And then last question, end of the year 2019, what can fans expect from you? What can fans look forward to?
End of the year 2019, we have a tour.
Nice.
Like mini tour, the Loser Run, doing like 5 cities in America.
Nice.
I'm going to London for August to do a lot of songwriting and working. Try to put out some more music for the fall, winter time. Working on this edibles and weed stuff, so hopefully fans can get that soon. So yeah, just been crafting, working on my craftsmanship, preparing.
I'm super interested in the weed and weed business. How hard is it to crack, and what is like the stuff that you're learning now?
It's hard to crack. Like, everybody got their licenses already and stuff. So, like, you got to go to the new states that are just like, Illinois just legalized it. So, like, they're still giving out licenses. So you want to go to those new places, and it's kind of hard. You need to already have somebody who has experience in growing. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like somebody like wanting to jump in music. And it's like, you kind of already want to have somebody who's been songwriting in the studio that could show you around the shit. And then you can kind of get in there and start learning. But yeah, it's like, it ain't just no jump in quick feet thing. Cause I'm seeing like people have been growing weed longer than I've been alive. You know what I mean? And so for like me, I see the different new things, like, you know, this new edibles and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'll cook and make little treats. So like, this is somewhere I can fit in at. You know, they don't see it like, you know, you trying to do something that you're not. So it's like, yeah, that's cool. Rather than like, yeah, I'm finna come out here, get a farm too. I'm growing, and, you know, watch out. So like, nah, everybody growing. That rush has already happened where like the people ran and said they growing and saw they couldn't do it and left. So like all the real growers have left. And so now it's like we got all the marijuana, and now it's getting put down into oil and all these different ways, substances. So, you know, I'm just trying to jump into different substances because the marijuana's already there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now it's like the vape pen, the weed oil, weed water, all those new things. Nice. So
awesome. Well, thank you for taking time out.
Yo, appreciate this. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, that's today's episode of Mike Line, and thanks for tuning in. You can listen to more episodes of Mike Line and everything HYPEBEAST Radio at hypebeast.com/radio. Subscribe to Mike Line on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, or wherever you get your podcasts. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at ECM_LP and follow HYPEBEAST Music for more original content. Let us know who you like to have on the show, and thank you for listening to Mike Line.